don't understand how intros work, so I just go, hey guys. So, it's been around 2 weeks since I opened up Godot 4 for the first time and started working on my unnamed game about bugs. And since then I've been working on the game in my spare time that I've got, definitely nothing else. And I feel like I've made quite a bit of progress, and I feel overall just a lot more familiar with the game engine that I chose, which was Godot 4. While working on this project, I did choose to actually not rely on video tutorials to help me create my game, as I felt in the past that I would do this and I would end up just kind of copying code from other creators and then kind of just making a mashup of loads of different people's code and just like calling it my own game, and I didn't actually understand the engine myself.
You stupid!
So this time I actually did choose to read documentation and learn about different tools available in Godot. It's given me so much more confidence in using Godot, and a lot of things I actually figured out how to add myself without any help online, and it just made me feel amazing. Enough talk. I'll show you the progress I've had in the past 2 weeks. Before we get into what I added to the game, this is what the game looked like by the end of my first devlog. I know there's not too much, but I'm still proud of what I got done, and I think I have a good foundation for what I want my game to become. The only things that were included into this version of the game was a character that could move and jump, and they were animated. I had a background and a working tile set that I made. I also got to add one song that I made, and it just plays in the background as you play. And also a frog that speaks to you, which gave me too much trouble to add, and I hate him. So, first of all, I got straight to work on making a second area for the game. To start making this new area, I began by making sprites for the tile set, then imported it straight into Godot. I also made a temporary background that I do change later on. I was really happy with how the tile set actually looks in game, but now I need a way for the character to actually enter the cave. So I got to work on a cave entrance that I'd placed in the overworld. The way I did this was just with an area 2D that once the player enters and clicks the interact button, it transports them to the cave scene. I said the cave scene. I did then choose to change the background for the cave area, as I just did not like my original one. For this change I actually used an asset from online and recolored it, so credit will be in the description for all assets I used in my game. And I also did add a little ladder that the character can use to re-enter the overworld. While working on the cave area, I did actually think if I wanted to have a change to my character sprite, so I made a few mock-ups and I sent them to the Discord, and I also posted them on my Twitter. Feel free to look in the description and join the Discord or follow my Twitter. Anyways, this is how the character ended up looking. Although it's just some small changes to the outline being green instead of black, I think it makes a big difference and I just enjoy it a lot more. I replaced my old sprite with this brand new one, and I was really happy with it, and then I decided to add a menu to my game. I created my opening menu by adding a sprite as the background, and then I used button nodes to create, well, you know, just buttons. And lastly I added a camera 2D just so I can control what the player sees. I just love how Godot's nodes work, how they send signals to the code. It just makes everything so easy and just so user-friendly. However, something that wasn't easy was making these buttons. My handwriting is atrocious, and just with a mouse it's even worse. I could not do this. It took me ages. I realize now I could have just typed them out with like a pixelated font, but whatever, it's done now. Having terrible handwriting is a curse. I created a controls menu that would be accessed from within the main menu. It's just a page that shows a list of the controls for my game, and you can leave it by pushing the back button in the corner. This control menu had some effect on me because while I was making it, I was singing my heart out to the music playing. Lucky you, here's a sample of my perfect singing. Yes, I am a nerd, bookworm. I am studious, from my cerebral cortex to my gluteus. Back in kindergarten, I aced my college entrance exam. Now I'm no rocket scientist. Oh wait, I am. But I'm fluent in C++. See, you just suck. My belly button, my belly button. Then like it's nothing, cause my belly button's really something. Something I wanna show to you. Just call me a seal, cause I'm going full naval. I bedazzled it, I made a nugget dip, taste it. So, in the cave, you may have noticed this really big wall that the player can't even jump over. And you might have thought, oh, this is just this terrible game design, but no! It was planned! I promise you. I deliberately chose to put this wall here as an obstacle that the player must overcome, using the new mechanic that I want to add to my game right now. If you can remember from my previous devlog, I said that I wanted the player character to befriend the other bugs and that they help him along his journey. The way I want this to work within my game is to allow the player to unlock new abilities with the help of the bug friends you meet. Like, for example, the frog could help you by giving you a much bigger jump. Or maybe you could meet a bumblebee and befriend them and defy all the laws of aviation together. So the frog and the bee ability were actually the first ones I decided to try and add to my game. I wanted the frog ability to increase your jump height, but at the same time also slow down your movement to make it more balanced. I was going to allow the bee ability to give you the power of flight for a short time, however I thought this wouldn't work well in my game, which then led me to changing the bee to just give you the power of gliding through the air instead. Plus, the character does seem quite big for the poor bee to fly around with anyway. At this point, I felt really confident in using Godot, so I decided to not use any tutorials online to help me make the code for this. This did lead to me bashing my head against the wall for 40 minutes straight trying to make it, but in the end, I got it to work, and I'm really proud of it. I know for a fact that my code is not very efficient in doing it, but it works, so I'm going to keep it for now. Now that there's abilities in my game, I felt it was necessary to add some UI, so I decided to keep it simple for now, and I just added a box in the bottom corner of the screen that shows a different icon depending on the current bug power you are using. I did also change the overworld's background at this point. I used another asset online, and I much prefer how this one looks as well. And this is what my game looks like with everything together. One last thing I did add was another song for the underworld area, and that is a song that's playing in the background right now. I'm really pleased with how this song turned out. And I also did kind of reskin my whole game to make it look like Silksong. I promise I have a good reason. It was because I was featured on daily Silksong news. I did actually release the scuff version of Silksong on itch if you want to give it a go. It is literally just this game, but with Silksong stolen assets. And you can also watch the trailer for Scuff Song on my itch page. Other than that, that is the end of this second devlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing. And of course, if you have any feedback, please leave a comment. I love reading them all, and they help so much. And as always, play Outer Wilds. Why have you not played it yet?